Dharma, I want to practice Dharma, I want to good person. Even we who are doing like that, still we make more negative karma than positive karma. You know? See? So it's better not believe karma, just, get that, put it in one side, Just, But that's not the case. The karma causes law of the universe. Whether we believe, don't believe. Whether we know it, don't know it. Whatever cause we create, that will bring the result. When we make first step, it becomes cause for the second step. Whether we aware it, don't aware it. Whether we believe it, don't believe it. So like that, momentary. Every action becomes the cause to the next. It's not too far. It's every moment, like a wheel. When it goes like that, the first becomes the cause to the second. A second becomes cause to the next. Oh, like that. Without the first, can go second. That. So just that wheel. So therefore, it becomes very important that we aware it, we should know it, and try to make all the effort as much as we try to create positive karma and reduce negative karma. Make every effort. And when we are convinced in that nature, the cause and effect, then our interest in the Dharma will not lose at all. Then we will be very sincere to ourselves. Until then, we don't know how to sincere to ourselves. We don't know how to help to ourselves. We make all the effort to be successful, to be a good person, but sometimes I destroy myself by my own behavior, my own action. So that means I don't know how to sincere to myself, because I didn't know about the role of the karma. But if I know the role of the karma well, then I will know how to sincere for myself. There's no other way, no other choice. It's the law of the universe. It's the constitution of all phenomena. How phenomena are constituted in that role, in that state. So non-effort, just laying down there, doesn't help, he said now. Just bypassing the time doesn't help to free from suffering. So it's a thunder without rain in an empty sky, as I said. Makes a big noise, It will scare you, but no rain. What that means is, in the Mahamudra state, there's nothing to avoid, there's nothing to do anything, just be that way, Or it's in the highest view, And when you reach to the highest view, then there's nothing to achieve, nothing to avoid, nothing to attain. Sometimes you hear that kind of some teachings too, even in the Buddhists. So, but that's it. Could not convince in this kind of role of the cause and effect. No matter high view that may be, so cannot ignore the cause and effect. So even Buddha cannot ignore cause and effect. Because of that, When Buddha became Buddha, he was so careful all his action, what he does, what he say. He becomes the most careful doing things because he knows all those. If that's not the case, then he can play anything, he can do anything. It didn't, So how this really could be better, how to be, basically again is how to become a better person. How to, sincere to oneself, how to treat to other on this role. For the Lama who has the realization of power and blessings, the obstacle of maras and error is a lie. Chattering prayer like a parrot, can you put your trust in that? Realization of power means like the realization of the great wisdom, great compassion, or in other words, like realizing the nature of the mind. So that has such great blessings. So to that kind of great Lama teacher, so there's no obstacles. What it means, as yesterday we mentioned, suffering is a blessing. When you realize suffering is a blessing, then there's no obstacle exist. There's no Mara exist. So Mara and obstacles is just a lie. It's not true, See, now here comes true, See, I'm not saying something bad, I'm not talking. I'm not making mistake. You see. We may seem it's an obstacle. It's a Mara's obstacle. But the Lama who realized that teaching is no longer obstacles. It's no longer Mara. As Lord Chittagong yesterday mentioned, the Daga means realizing all the enemy as your relative, friend, is real Daga, And that all relative, your friends, are nature of emptiness. Is the Dakini, See, when you come that, Mara is your most close friend, relative. So it's no more. It's no longer Mara, No longer demons. No longer is a ghost, okay? There's no ghost exist. No ghost, no demon exist. All that becomes your most close relative, friend. So with a lot of prayer, we say, to free from this obstacle, I must say this prayer, this mantra, So saying, chattering prayers like a parrot, So can you put trust in that? You cannot put trust in that, Means have no realization. When you realize these things, so all this, when you transform all the nature of the samsara as a nirvana, just there's nothing to achieve anymore. This is now saying, this is the basic also illusory body practice is about. So all this phenomena is a projection of the mind, So when we realize that very nature is just nirvana, there's no special place to go for nirvana. So we don't need a spaceship to go another planet. Okay. So obstacles of maras and error is a lie. Chattering prayer like a parrot. Can you put trust in that? When you realize the nature of your mind, the three limitless kalpas are also a lie. The deceptive vehicle of relative truth. Can you put your trust in it? So Buddha, who says historically Buddha, practice for 3 limitless kalpa to attain Buddhahood. But here saying, if you realize your nature of the mind, like mind is like sky, free from boundary. Then you no need to wait for 3 limitless kalpa. It's possible within any life you can become Buddha. So 3 limitless kalpa is life means you don't have to wait. Everybody don't have to wait for 3 limitless kalpas. There's a possibility to attain enlightenment in any time, 1 lifetime, within 1 lifetime, 2 lifetimes, 3 lifetimes, 16 lifetimes. So don't have to wait for 3 limitless kalpa. So don't rely on always the relative vehicle. Just practice, Some people say, oh, this is not, right now it's not time to practice. You have to study, you have to read all books. They say, that's also not necessary, You practice while you're reading, or while you're reading, practice Dharma. You cannot wait, said, because the Lord of Death will not wait us. Will try to take us any time, any moment, So therefore, we just practice any time when we get. Apply that. So there is then a way to experience the Dharma teachings. Dharma practice makes really to understand, or our true understanding of the Dharma comes from our practice meditation. When we practice, then you say the inner experience makes you understand Dharma, meaning what's this, what's that. Oh, yes. Otherwise, when we intellectually, how much we investigate, there comes always some kind of little contradictory. Always there comes some kind of, not so much, cannot penetrate real meaning of Dharma. When you practice well, then it opens up true understanding of meaning of whole phenomena. So 3 limitless kalpas are also alive. The deceptive the deceptive vehicle of relative truth. Think, can you put your trust in it? So this is now these teachings that Lord Jesus was given him many times, that disciple who died. But now he's recollecting, reminding that these teachings you received before. Now remind this, think of this meaning again. So release your attachment, release your resentment. Just open your mind, heart, just relax. Be your mind free from all the boundaries. So then what it says is, in the cemetery, gathering relax, are you sad, son, being alone? Now, are you sad here? You died by yourself. Are you sad? Are you attached to something? Are you have some resentment? Since nothing lasts and all must die, since nothing lasts long and everybody has to die sooner or later. Renjentag, don't be attached to anything. If your mind is still attached, transfer it to your Lama's heart. You just say, practice the Guru Yoga, and your mind transferred to Lama's heart. So this is a special power, It's a special power. It's a power that transfers your consciousness to the Lama's heart. So that's why Guru Yoga becomes that kind of very important. So when when Lord Jesus was giving this teaching to Rinpoche, and that time he realized the teaching completely, and then his last, the miracle power that what he have shown is called Rinpoche's body was then cut open and found to contain numerous relax in the form of small mini color pills. So this was his last miracle power now. There were so many of these that they had to be swept together with the brooms, like a big bag, like opened like full of rice, When you open that, all the rice scattered like that, So then people have to come to, swept all put together. That's the same at the Drikungpa, the famous the scar burial cemetery. It's the same place. Here we have the 8 worldly concerns. Concern with gain and loss, pleasure and pain, fame and disgrace, and kind and harsh words. These are the 8 called worldly concern. We attach to gain, pleasure, fame, and kind, and we hate losing, pain, disgrace, and harsh words. Okay. So there's the cemetery where this miracle occurred was thereafter referred to as Tenchak Kang, means gathering relax. There, Jitensung opened a mandala for the purification of lower realms, which was placed under a large slab of stone. Under that slab, S-L-A-B, slab. He also created a light which will burn until the end of this kalpa, and which benefits the minds of those whose bodies are brought there, causing them to be free from birth in the lower realms. So this is this very famous cemetery. Since then, from the 12th century until now, except during the Cultural Revolution, every day their body, from 1 to 8 bodies every day are coming, and all they're given to vulture. So this is, I thought, as our today's teaching, this kind of understanding, is refreshing of our practices. Now with this conclusion of this illusory body teaching, page 6 and 7 today, please see. So this today is also shows as all the meaning of the illusory body teachings here, isn't it? See. Now, the conclusion is introduction to the illusory body and putting it into practice, realization, intellectual understanding. So for this, all the subjective and objective. What is subjective and what is objective?
Subjective is me and objective is you.
Yes, isn't it? If we say all are subjectivities, what's that mean?
All the internal view, our internal
inner view. All are objectivities.
That's supposed to be what's out there. Universal or common.
Universal or common objectivity. So anyway, all this the subjective, or the person who is projecting all outside. So every sentient beings, we should say, every sentient being is subjective, and all the objectives, all the phenomena that what we perceive, what we project, is objective. Aspects of Dharma means phenomena here. Dharma means phenomena. So here, phenomena means not just outside this all, but also includes all the sentient beings, and everyone are the subjective and objective aspects of Dharma are naturally non-existent. Naturally non-existent, as we discussed. So everything is interdependent, depending on cause and condition. The result without any cause cannot manifest. So therefore, that result is not independent. There's no independent result. But that very result is also a cause to the next result. So that result is also not independent, and that cause is not independent. That way. So it's not just result, it's also a cause. And that cause is also not just a cause, it's also result. See? So all are in that nature. Right and left. Without right, there's no left. Long and short. Without long, there's no short. All is a relativity nature. That's why it's called there's no naturally or inherently. There's no inherently existent. Everything's was in a very temporary nature. From beginner's time, what it's saying is, we are not making non-existent, which is exist. We are just realizing how things they are functioning. It's called mode of abiding. Realizing the mode of abiding of all phenomena. How everything is in permanent nature, for example. For us seems to be real, but this morning is now past. At this time, the morning is just not exist here. This noon was, that time there was noon, but now there's not noon. It exists. So that noon was non-exist now. So all this passes that way. Very momentary. So that's this mode of abiding, the nature of all phenomena, how that passes. The first moment of the mind, there's a peace, relax. But the second moment, that was not exist. The first moment of the mind, agitated, frustrated mind. And the second moment, that was not exist. It's how it all shows, demonstrates all the nature of phenomena. We are not making that way. It is just that way. So we're just realizing, becoming very close to the nature. It's called close to nature. That's called nature. Nature is not just a tree, not just the ground, but nature of all phenomena, becoming more and more close, going out of artificial. And who is myself? Who myself is, realizing that. Where I am, realizing that. So naturally non-existent from beginner's time. All the teachings, in the Dharma teachings, say that appearance, all what we see, sound what we hear, clarity of mind and awareness of that our mind are void like a magic show. It's all like a magic show. It looks real. When you see, as we discussed, when you see a magic show, it looks, you can see it. Like when the magician's trick, they show animal, birds, things. It looks very real. It creates sound too. But then when you realize it's a magic, then you say, oh, it's magic. We immediately change our mind with that perception. Similar, all this is like a magic. As I mentioned, the first moment of thought is not exist the second moment. So it's a magic show. Isn't it? So let's say, for example, first moment the mind is so frustrated, upset. Okay. That moment mind is that moment is very real, very kind of concrete. Oh, just uptight, all this. Then in 5 minutes you change all that, and your mind is so peaceful, calm. And when you look at that moment, when you look at the first moment of the mind, you feel like I'm ashamed, All it's like an illusion. It's not existing. That's called magic show. But not realizing that how that function, how that acts, and we are so involved with that. We are so attached to that. And we are so dependent on the conditions. We are not trying to stay in the unconditional state. So that's what it says, a magic show. That's what this magic show means, Knowing this leads only to an intellectual understanding. It's just, oh yes, I know this. Yes, I know this. It's just intellectual. It doesn't have. It won't help us when we need it. When we suffer, we will have a real suffering. Even we try to make an illusion, cannot make it illusion. It's real suffering. Oh, I can't handle this, I can't stand with this, So illusory as that intellectual understanding, of course, first is very important, without which we cannot practice. But without practice, that intellectual itself cannot help us for the application of this practice. So very important practice. It will not lead to perfect realization. Intellectual will not lead us to the perfect realization. But if one practices as described here, one will actually experience all Dharma as illusion. When you see everything as illusion, momentary nature, subject of change, manifest simultaneously here and there, then there's real kind of sense of harmony. A true kind of sense of harmony comes. Then no need to depend on the cause, no need to depend on the conditions. Whatever manifests is just sustain your mind. So this is the basically how to practice some. So if we practice this well, then there are different degrees of the realization here. Benefits of illusory body practice. The superior practitioner who have really practiced this so successfully, most successful now, say. For the superior practitioner of the illusory body practice, as death approaches at the time of death, see. So now the death first is death is the one of the time that nobody can help, or we cannot get help from any other else. Our best friend, most close people to you, at the time of death, they cannot help. We have to have our own help. The most close person maybe will cry. Just may say, "Oh, please don't die." That much you can say. Or what can I do for you? That much you can say, but cannot share the pain. Cannot give your realization to that person. No, so that's to say it's death. No, as death approaches, the skandhas, the 5 skandhas, 5 aggregates, the form, feeling, perception, mental formation, consciousness, this called 5 aggregates. Our body we are functioning in that 5 aggregates. We have the body, and we have feeling of happiness, suffering, perception of this is good, not good, white, dark, blue, long, small, like this kind of perception. Mental formation we create different karma. Consciousness, the mind. So these we have this all 5. It's called the 5 aggregates. Okay. Then dhatu there's 18 elements. It's divided from the 5 aggregates. Okay. The 6 called the 6 object. So form, sound, smell, taste, touch, dharma phenomena. It's the 6 objects. 6 called 6 organs or something like senses organs. Eyes, ears, nose, tongues, bodies, and mind. We should say mind. Then the 6 consciousnesses. Eyes consciousness, ears consciousness, nose consciousness, tongue consciousness, body consciousness, mental consciousness. So these are the 18 dhatus. They are divided from these 5 skandha. 12 ayatana. The ayatanas, there are 12. That's the 6 subject and 6 object. Okay. So this very body will be dissolved into luminous emptiness, and one will attend Dharmakaya. So your mind can establish such a realization, seeing everything as an illusion. No independent entity, inherent entity. Or just like manifestation, or just like a mirage, rainbow. Reality exactly is like a mirage, rainbow, magic show. When you realize that, then your mind is so well established, so well trained, that right at the moment of death, this all when there's dissolving into this emptiness, that time there's no inner confusion, just exactly just there. So Dharmakaya is the ultimate realizing the ultimate nature of the mind. Luminous, here luminous means no any obscurations, Okay. And one will attain the Dharmakaya, the ultimate Buddhahood, the nature of the mind. From that rise in the illusory deity body, then manifests Sambhogakaya, and thus attain the unified. Unified means the appearance and the emptiness are inseparable nature. Very vivid, clear, yet it's like a mirage, rainbow. No difference. So unified Sambhogakaya at that moment without need to waiting any minute. Okay? Then the average practitioner, this also looks very successful, For us it's not really average, also very superior. Actually for us we cannot say so much difference. What is the difference, Since we have not realized, it looks very same, But one who realized then can see what the difference, For the average practitioner of illusory body practice who experience the illusory body when alive, when death occurs, the 20 course components, this also the 5 skandhas, 18 dhatus, 12 ayatanas, those all divided more, Okay. The 4 subtle elements. Then at the time of death when it comes very close, the earth element dissolves to water element, 1. Water element dissolves to fire element, 2. The fire element dissolves to wind element, 3. The wind element dissolves to consciousness, this 4. It's called this is a very kind of subtle, kind of dissolving. So it takes a little longer time. Before it doesn't take any time, This takes go slowly, all those dissolved minds into the ocean. Then the four subtle elements, and then 3 very subtle mind dissolves into clear void or clear light. That is the experience of the white, experience of red, experience of darkness. After stopping the breath, and then it goes through more kind of experience, white experience, red experience, darkness experience. And who have not practiced any Dharma doesn't know what's going through. Just going to a completely unknown place. So if we have practiced the illusory body practice, yesterday I mentioned, so this is like looking the map, So when you know the map, place we are going to, so now you know exactly what is happening. Or this is like you are knowing the map, When you don't know the map, you don't know where you're getting into, So this still you know those, okay. Clear. After dissolving in the darkness, then their next step comes the all-pervading emptiness, skull, or all-pervading clarity, luminosity, skull. And you completely, you know it, you recognize it, you're not confused at that time. You realized Dharmakaya. You're not obscured. Light and one obtains the Dharmakaya. Okay. It takes a little longer time than before, but still you realize Dharmakaya. From that, the illusory deity body instantly rise, and thus the Sambhogakaya possessing the 5 qualities is attained. Then I can become Buddha. Now the lesser practitioner, this also seems for us very advanced, Even the lesser practitioner will experience death consciousness. When you die, so you'll die consciously. Oh, now death is coming. This is called death. I know it. There's nothing to fear, nothing to reject, nothing to attach. all just happening, And at that time can dissolve into the luminous void of death. After that, the movement of the prana and mind will cause the appearance of Bharata state. So since mind is not fully stabilized completely, not actualized this practice, so still the movement of the prana means the wind, the habitual tendency of the wind, and the mind which you habitualize in the samsara, so could not sustain quite well in the realization. So the movement is so strong, it makes you to go to the Bharata state, go through the Bharata. Appearance of the Bharata state, but the practitioners will arise in the yidam form. But yet you have to, since you have the illusory body practice, some realization, and you know it, this is a Bharata state, and instead of you kind of rejecting all the appearance, manifestation of the mind, all the manifestations, rises, peaceful, wrathful deities, all those, when rises without kind of confused with that, without getting fear attached, you just become yidam deity. Actually, Bharata consciousness is a yidam, So if you recognize as the yidam, then form without following the delusions of the Bharata, all the mental projections that you experience without deluded by these, immediately the darkness and darkness will invite him or her to the Buddha field with the celestial songs and the music. Sounds good, isn't it? Everyone is, oh, please come in. Please welcome to our Buddha field. Of this, there's no doubt. So that's just is exact, So these are the very purpose of our practice, meditation, basically to end the suffering of samsara. No, just look at this life. We cannot bear the suffering of samsara. We cannot handle the suffering of samsara. Seeing that reality, nature, then we practice dharma to achieve this kind of state. So in that, we not break. Okay, then yes, very helpful. And you can say this anytime, as like a prayer or as like a song, it's reminding the Dharma practice. It's very useful. Okay.
Give us the page numbers that you were reading from in those songs.
You have to read this. You have to see another book, not this one. This is the old one. Many don't have this one. No need. Or just look at the song section. There's not many songs, only few.
Could you repeat the song?
The song that clarifies recollection. Reflection, yeah. Clarifies the recollection. Recollection. Yeah. Oh, read all the songs are good. Okay. The song. See the six confidence, as I mentioned yesterday, isn't it? Day yesterday. It's so good song there, So I realize my mind, Lama, and the Buddha as one nature. I don't need artificial devotion. I a yogin, happy or joy, So the song is so good. The six confidence, and then there's supplication Tara. It's another wonderful song,
Can you sing one for us?
Which one?
Whatever comes to your
In Tibetan or in English? Oh, in Tibetan. If I remember now. There's also songs, the five the 5 parts of the Mahamudra. There's also their songs so good there too. So all those songs, each and every, are just kind of, what should I say? It's so wonderful. There's no one which is better than others, you know. If I remember this last which we taught, that one, no. Yidam da jai da boy lai kalo de jen doi gai men doi sam lön jong xie la da gu zhen zan na ai ju xie da bai za ya zong brai da lang zo ten ge men doi lai kalo de jen doi gai men doi sam Norosane Zabai Donzana Senada Doi Soja Zombroenda Senoro Zage Zibai Lai Kalo De Jendoi Gai Mendoi Sum Jeje Tohonge Donzana Sim